Cars rushed past on the Lagos highway. In the middle of it, a black Bentley sat dead by the shoulder, bonnet up, sun burning the metal. A tall man in an expensive navy suit stood beside it, sweating and worried. His name was Maxwell Anderson, a famous billionaire CEO. His driver and 2 guards waved at passing cars for help. A roadside mechanic had tried and failed. A tow truck had come and left. No one could fix it. Then a thin voice rose from behind the crowd. "I can help," the voice said. People turned. A poor, pregnant girl stepped forward from under the bridge. Her gown was old and torn. Mud stained the hem. Her natural hair was scattered around her face. She held her big belly with one hand and kept walking. Some people laughed. Some whispered, "How can a homeless girl fix a billionaire's car?" Maxwell looked at her. He could see she was tired and hungry. He could also see something else in her eyes, a calm, steady kind of knowing. "What's your name?" he asked. "Amara," she said. "Please, let me try." One guard moved to stop her. Maxwell raised a hand. "Let her," he said. Amara set her clay-brown eyes on the engine bay. She did not shake. She did not blink much. She touched the battery hold-down and frowned. "Loose," she whispered. She checked the ground strap. "Dirty." She bent, wincing a little from the weight of her belly, and tightened the battery clamp with quick fingers. She scraped the rusty ground point with the edge of a coin until it shone, then wrapped it firm. Her right hand slid along a thick cable. She found a weak connector near the fuse box, pushed it in, and clicked it tight. She checked one more wire, nodded, and stepped back. "Try it now," she said. Maxwell slid into the driver's seat and turned the key. The Bentley roared to life. The sound was deep and smooth, like a lion waking up. The guards jumped. The small crowd shouted. A bus driver honked. Maxwell blinked hard. He looked at Amara as if she had moved a mountain. "How did you—" Amara swayed. Her hand flew to her belly. Maxwell rushed out and caught her before she fell. She whispered, "Please don't let them find me." "Who?" Maxwell asked, but before she could answer, her eyes filled with tears. And we stop here for a moment, because this is where Amara's long road truly began. Before the roar of the Bentley, before the crowd and the heat, there was a girl in a happy workshop. Her name was Amara, and her father's name was Obinna. He was a popular mechanic, the kind people trusted with their cars and their hearts. He whistled while he worked. He laughed with customers. He let his daughter stand by his side and learn with her hands. "Watch the sound, Amara," he would say. "Engines talk. You must learn their language." So she listened. She learned the hiss of a bad hose, the cough of a tired battery, the tiny click of a loose relay. By the time she was 17, Amara could fix a car by herself. People called her in secret to repair a stubborn engine or a grumpy alternator. They gave her small money, and she saved it in a red tin under her bed. She bought soap. She bought notebooks. She never wanted to trouble her parents, but not everyone loved Obinna's bright light. Some men at the workshop felt small beside him. They whispered. They frowned when customers smiled at Obinna. Jealousy grew like a thorn bush. One night, when Amara had just turned 18, shadows came to their home. The men wore masks. They broke the door. They did not take phones. They did not take money. They took peace. There were shouts. There were 2 shots. When the men ran away, the house was quiet in a way a house should never be. Amara held her mother's hand and called her name. She pressed her father's shirt and begged him to wake up. The sun rose, but it did not bring warmth. Then came her father's brother, Uncle Namdi. His face looked hard, like a locked gate. He pointed at Amara with cold eyes. "You planned this," he said. "You wanted their money. You called those men." Amara cried, "Uncle, no, I loved them." But he did not listen. He sold the house. He pushed her out. He left her with a bag of clothes and a name covered in shame. The bridge in Oshodi became her roof. The ground became her bed. Night was not quiet there. Night had hands that reached and voices that lied. Amara learned to run. She learned to hide. But one bad night, she was too slow. Rough hands grabbed her. She screamed. The world spun. Then, darkness. When she woke, her gown was torn. Her body hurt. There was no one to help, no one to believe, no one to hold her while she shook. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Her belly began to rise. People pointed at her and called her names. She did not answer. She cried when no one could see. On the morning that changed everything, Amara stood up from her place under the bridge and wiped her eyes. The sky was clear. The sun felt heavy. Her stomach was empty. "Maybe someone will bless me today," she whispered. She walked toward the highway, one hand on her back, one hand on her belly. Then she saw the black Bentley. The car sat on the shoulder like a quiet giant. The man in the navy suit was speaking fast on the phone. "Board meeting, data breach. I'm almost there." He hung up and rubbed his face. Sweat made a line along his jaw. He looked like a strong tree in a storm. Amara watched a roadside mechanic poke at the engine and shrug. She watched another man bang a spanner and shake his head. She could hear the car talking. It was a simple voice, a problem she knew. "I can help," she said, stepping forward. "Now, here we are again." Back at the roar by the highway, Maxwell stared at Amara over the open door. "Who are you?" he asked, his voice soft with wonder. "My name is Amara," she said. "My father taught me. He was a great mechanic. Until he—" Her voice broke. The story spilled out the workshop, the love, the night of masks, the uncle, the bridge, the attack, the months of pain. She told the truth like a river that could not be held back. Cars hissed by. The guard stood awkwardly, cheeks hot, eyes low. Maxwell listened with his whole face. When she finished, he looked at the running Bentley, then back at Amara. "No one could fix my car," he said slowly, "until you came. You saved my day. Let me save yours." Amara blinked. "Sir, my name is Maxwell Anderson," he said. "You're safe with me. Get in the car. From today, you will not sleep under a bridge again." Isaserima stops. One guard cleared his throat. "Sir, with respect, bringing a stranger." Maxwell turned. "She is not a stranger. She is Amara. She is brave. She is smart. Unlock the back door." The guard obeyed, still unsure. Amara looked at the open door and pressed her belly. The seat looked soft. Too soft for someone who had slept on concrete. She stepped closer and then stopped. A glint of black under the front fender caught her eye. She crouched carefully. There, zip-tied to a frame rail, was a small box with a red light, half hidden by dust. Wires ran from it to the area she had just fixed. Amara's heart jumped. She had seen a device like this once at the workshop. A nasty little thing someone used to make a good car act sick. Her father had called it a trap for proud men. She looked up, scanning the crowd. A black SUV had just rolled to a slow stop behind the Bentley. Its windows were dark. The driver's door opened. A man stepped out. He wore a cap low over his eyes. On his right wrist was a leather band burned with a small letter N. The letter cut into Amara's mind like lightning. Uncle Namdi. No, this man was younger, bigger. But that N, that mark, it pulled on an old, terrible memory. A hand with the same band gripping her father's shirt the night the shots rang out. Amara shot to her feet. "Mr. Maxwell, wait," she cried, pointing at the box. "Don't drive. Someone did this on purpose." The guards reached for their radios. The man by the SUV paused, turned his head, and started walking toward them slow, like a cat. Maxwell followed Amara's finger to the device. His jaw tightened. He took a step toward the bonnet. The box blinked twice. Amara grabbed Maxwell's sleeve. "Please," she whispered, her voice shaking. "Step back." The highway seemed to hold its breath. The crowd pressed in. The SUV door stayed open. The man with the N on his wrist kept coming, gaze locked on Amara, like he knew her. The Bentley's engine ticked and hummed, alive, strong, and somewhere under the fender, the little red light began to blink faster and faster. The red light blinked faster. Each flash cut the air like a drumbeat. Tick, tick, tick. Maxwell's eyes narrowed. "What is that thing?" he asked, stepping closer. Amara's grip on his sleeve tightened, her voice trembled, but it carried strength. "It's not part of your car. It's a device someone planted it to make the car fail. If you had kept trying to drive, it could have destroyed your engine, or worse." The guards snapped into action. One shouted into his radio. The other pulled Maxwell back. The crowd gasped. Some drew closer. Others hurried away from the strange box, blinking under the billionaire's Bentley. And then, the man with the N on his wrist stepped fully into the sunlight. Amara froze. That leather band, that burnt mark. Her chest rose and fell quickly. Her mind hurled her back to the night her parents were killed, back to the sound of gunshots, back to the sight of her father falling with his hand outstretched. She had seen that band before. Her voice cracked. "It's them," she whispered. "The same people." Maxwell turned sharply. "What do you mean?" But Amara could not speak more. Her lips trembled. Her hand slid protectively over her big belly. The man smirked and walked closer, as if the guards and crowd did not exist. "Sir Anderson," he called, his voice deep, oily. "Step aside. That girl is mine." The words chilled Amara to the bone. Maxwell stepped in front of her. "Yours? She's not yours. Who are you?" The man tilted his head. "Who I am doesn't matter. What matters is she should never have touched your car." His eyes locked on Amara. "We warned you once, didn't we, girl?" Amara's knees nearly buckled. Her heart raced. This was no stranger. This was tied to her family's tragedy. The guards moved fast, guns drawn. "Step back," one barked, but the man only laughed, raising his hand slowly. "Do you think your billionaire money can shield you from everything, Anderson?" His smile widened. "This girl, she's carrying a curse. And now you've invited her into your life." The crowd buzzed with whispers. Phones came out, recording. Lagos highways love drama, and this was becoming more than broken wires and a fixed Bentley. Maxwell clenched his jaw. His voice cut through the noise like a blade. "Remove that device. Arrest him." But the man did not flinch. Instead, he tapped his leather band twice. The red light under the car blinked solid, then stopped. Silence, then pop. A sharp hiss of smoke burst from beneath the bonnet. The crowd screamed and scattered back. The guards dragged Maxwell a step away. Amara cried out, covering her belly with both hands. When the smoke cleared, the device was gone, melted into ash. The man with the band gave a mocking bow. "You're welcome. I just saved your car from exploding. But next time, Anderson, don't pick up strays." He turned and strode back to the SUV. One guard aimed his gun. "Should I shoot, sir?" Maxwell's hand shot out. "No, not yet." His eyes burned with something fierce, something dangerous. "I want to know why they targeted me, and why she knows them." The SUV roared to life. It sped away, swallowed by Lagos traffic. The crowd was still buzzing, but Maxwell's mind was fixed on Amara. He turned to her, gently lifting her chin. "You knew him, didn't you? Tell me everything. Right now." Tears slipped down Amara's face. She nodded slowly. "That band on his wrist. I saw it the night they killed my parents." Her voice shook. "And now, sir, they've found me again." Maxwell inhaled sharply, his gaze darting toward the highway where the SUV disappeared. His car was safe, but his world had just collided with a girl carrying a truth too heavy for her shoulders. And for the first time in years, Maxwell Anderson, the billionaire who thought he had seen it all, felt fear. Because now, it wasn't just about a broken Bentley. It was about a broken girl carrying secrets that could burn everything down. And Amara's trembling words echoed in his mind. "Please, don't let them find me." The ride to Ikoyi was silent. The black Bentley glided smoothly now, but inside, the air was heavy. Amara sat at the far end of the back seat, her hands locked on her swollen belly, her face pale. Maxwell sat beside her, his sharp eyes flicking between her and the moving streets. His mind was racing. The billionaire who was known for confidence and power suddenly found himself troubled by a girl from under the bridge. She was not just a mechanic's daughter. She was a witness to something that should have been buried. When the Bentley rolled through the golden gates of Maxwell Anderson's mansion, Amara gasped. The house rose like a palace, lights glowing against the dusk, fountains spraying water into the air. Security guards lined the driveway. Luxury cars sparkled under the evening sky. Amara clutched her belly tighter. "Sir, I don't belong here." Maxwell turned to her, his voice softer. "Amara, after today, you belong here more than anyone. You saved my life." She shook her head, tears rolling down her cheeks. "I didn't save your life, I just fixed your car." Maxwell leaned closer, his tone steady but firm. "No, you saw something no one else could, and you saw someone I need to know more about. Until I get answers, you're not leaving my side." The guards opened the door. Amara stepped out cautiously, her torn gown brushing the marble steps. She felt eyes on her, the maids, the drivers, even the head of security, a poor, pregnant girl standing in the middle of wealth. Whispers started immediately. Who is she? A beggar from the streets. Why would Ogre bring her here? Maxwell raised his hand, silencing them all. This is Amara. She's under my protection. Treat her with respect. The whispers died, but the stares did not. Inside, the mansion glittered with chandeliers. The air smelled of fresh roses. Amara blinked at the white marble floor, afraid her dirty slippers would stain it. A maid offered to take her bag, a torn nylon with only a wrapper inside. Amara held it tighter. No, thank you. It's locks. Maxwell noticed her trembling. Give her a room in the east wing, he told the chief maid. Everything she needs: clothes, food, comfort. Immediately. The maid hesitated but nodded. Yes, sir. As Amara was led away, Maxwell's phone buzzed. He stepped aside and answered. Sir Anderson, a voice said from the other end, low and urgent. That device under your car, it wasn't just sabotage. It was a signal. Someone was tracking you. Maxwell's jaw tightened. Who? There was silence. Then the voice replied. A name came up, Namdi. Maxwell froze. The same name Amara had whispered in tears. That night, Amara lay on a soft bed for the first time in months. Clean sheets, cool air, silence. But her heart could not rest. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw the red light blinking. She saw the leather band. She saw her father falling. She pressed her face into the pillow and cried quietly, careful not to wake the maid who had been ordered to watch over her. Suddenly, a soft knock came at her door. Come in, she whispered. The door opened slowly. Maxwell stepped in, still dressed in his suit, but with his tie loosened. His eyes were tired. He sat on the edge of the bed. I need you to tell me everything, he said gently. About your father, about that night, about this. Namdi. Amara's hands trembled. She looked down. Namdi is my uncle, my father's brother. He hated how respected my father was. The night my parents died, I saw a man with that same wristband. I didn't forget. That's why, when I saw it today, I knew. Her voice cracked. And my uncle blamed me. He said I killed them. He threw me out. I had nowhere else to go. Maxwell listened, his expression unreadable. You were a child, he said finally. They broke you, Amara. But you're not broken anymore. You fixed my car when no one else could. You still have something in you that they couldn't take. Amara wiped her tears. Why are you helping me, sir? You don't even know me. Maxwell looked at her for a long moment. His voice lowered. Because I know what it feels like to lose everything. My wife left me because we couldn't have children. My house is full of gold, but empty of joy. And then today, in the middle of a highway, a girl carrying pain greater than mine saved me. Maybe God sent you here. Amara's lips parted, but no words came. Her chest ached with emotions she couldn't name. Then, suddenly, bang! The sound exploded from outside the mansion. Guards shouted. Boots pounded against the marble floor. Maxwell jumped to his feet. Amara gasped, clutching her belly. Stay here, Maxwell ordered, running to the door. But Amara, her heart racing, stumbled after him. She couldn't help herself. She knew that sound. She had heard it once before the night her parents died. And as she stepped into the hallway, she saw it. One of Maxwell's guards lying flat on the floor, blood spreading across his white shirt. The mansion lights flickered. Somewhere in the dark, a voice echoed. Maxwell Anderson, we warned you. The girl does not belong here. Amara froze, her breath catching in her throat. Her nightmare had followed her to the mansion. Screams rippled through the mansion. Guards ran in different directions, shouting into radios. Weapons drawn. The chandeliers trembled as if the house itself had caught fear. Amara stood frozen in the hallway, her hand clutching her big belly, her body trembling. Maxwell grabbed her wrist. Stay close to me. His voice was sharp, urgent. But before she could answer, another bang shook the walls. Glass shattered somewhere deeper inside the house. The guards yelled, Intruders! Intruders inside the compound! Maxwell pushed Amara behind him as two guards rushed up. One was limping, blood running down his arm. Sir, they breached the east fence. They're armed. Amara's knees weakened. She knew this pattern. The night her parents died, it started the same way. Chaos, shouts, and then silence. Who are they? Maxwell demanded. The wounded guard looked grim. They call themselves the Black Crows, sir. Mercenaries. Paid killers. Amara's chest tightened. Black Crows, she whispered. That's them. They worked with my uncle. Maxwell turned sharply to her, eyes narrowing. You're sure? She nodded, her tears shining. I saw that wristband again tonight. This is their signature. Uncle Namdi. He must have sent them. Maxwell clenched his fists. For years, business rivals had tried to break him with lawsuits, smear campaigns, and threats. But this was different. This wasn't about money. This was war. He looked at Amara, the homeless girl who had fixed his car and now dragged enemies to his doorstep. For a brief second, a doubt crossed his mind. Had he made a mistake trusting her, but then he saw her trembling lips, the way she shielded her unborn child with both hands, and he knew she was not his enemy. She was their target. Take her to the safe room. Maxwell barked at the guards. Amara shook her head, panic in her voice. No, please. Every time I hide, they find me. That's how my parents. Her words broke into sobs. I don't want to hide anymore. Maxwell stepped closer, his voice softer but firm. Amara, listen to me. You've carried this pain alone for too long. But tonight, you're not alone. I'll protect you. I swear it. Tears rolled down her face. She nodded slowly. The guards led them toward a hidden steel door behind the grand staircase. But just as they reached it, the mansion lights went black. Darkness swallowed everything. The generator hummed. Emergency lights flickered on, but too late. Shadows moved fast across the hallway. Masked men, dressed in black. Rifles raised. Down! Maxwell shouted, pulling Amara behind a marble pillar. Bullets cracked through the air, chipping stone. Guards fired back, shouting orders. Amara's ears rang. She crouched low, shaking, whispering, "Not again, not again." Then, through the chaos, a deep voice boomed. "Maxwell Anderson?" Everyone froze. Even the gunfire paused. The voice echoed through the mansion halls like a command. From the shadows, a man stepped forward. Tall, broad-shouldered, his mask off. His face was scarred, his eyes cold. On his wrist, the same leather band, the letter N burned into it. Amara gasped, her voice cracked. "It's him. The one I saw that night." The man's gaze locked on her. "Ah, the girl. I wondered how long you'd last." He sneered. "Your parents screamed your name before they died. Did you know that? They begged us not to touch you. But orders are orders." Amara's chest heaved. Her whole body trembled. "Why? Why did you do it?" The man's smile widened. "Because your uncle wanted the spotlight. And because your father stood in our way." He turned to Maxwell. "And now, billionaire, she stands in mine again. Give her to us, and we'll walk away." The silence that followed was heavy, suffocating. Guards glanced at Maxwell nervously. They were outnumbered. The Black Crows filled the hallways like shadows. Maxwell stepped forward, his voice steady, steel in his tone. "You'll have to go through me first." The man chuckled darkly. "Then you die with her." He raised his hand. His men lifted their rifles. And in that exact second, Amara did something no one expected. She rose from behind the pillar, her pregnant body trembling, but her eyes blazing. "You killed my parents," she shouted. Her voice cracked through the mansion like thunder. "And you think you'll take me too? No, not this time." The scarred man froze, momentarily thrown off by her defiance. Maxwell's eyes widened. "Amara!" "No," but she was already moving. She bent down, grabbed a broken piece of marble from the shattered floor, and hurled it at the blinking emergency light overhead. Crash! The light burst, sparks raining down. Darkness swallowed the hall again. Gunfire erupted in the pitch black. Guards shouted. Bullets ricocheted. The Black Crows stumbled, blinded. Maxwell grabbed Amara's hand. "Run!" They sprinted down a side hallway as shadows and gunfire tore the mansion apart. Behind them, the scarred man's furious voice roared. "You can run, girl, but you'll never escape us." The hallways shook with echoes of bullets and shouts. Maxwell dragged Amara through a narrow passage that led to the basement. The poor pregnant girl stumbled, breathless, clutching her belly with one hand while clinging to Maxwell's arm with the other. Just a little further, Maxwell urged. They burst into the safe room, a steel-walled chamber hidden beneath the mansion. Guards sealed the door behind them. For a moment, silence pressed against their ears, broken only by Amara's ragged breathing. Her face was pale. Her tears streaked her cheeks. "They'll never stop coming for me," she whispered. "They won't stop until I'm gone." Maxwell knelt in front of her, his hands firm on her shoulders. His voice dropped low, steady as stone. "Amara, listen to me. You are not a curse. You are not a mistake. They are afraid of you, because even broken, you're stronger than they are." Amara looked into his eyes, searching for doubt. But all she saw was fire. Before she could answer, the steel door rattled. A voice thundered from outside. It was the scarred leader of the Black Crows. "Maxwell Anderson, your money can't save her. Open this door, or we burn your mansion down, with everyone inside." Amara's chest tightened. Sweat broke on her forehead. Then sudden pain tore through her body. She gasped, clutching her belly. Maxwell's eyes widened. "Amara, your time has come. You're in labor." The guards exchanged worried looks. The pounding on the steel door grew louder. They didn't have long. Amara cried out, her voice sharp with pain. Maxwell held her hand tight. "Breathe with me. You can do this." The chief maid hurried over with towels and water, her hands trembling. "Sir, she's too weak. If we don't get her to the hospital, both mother and child—" "No," Maxwell snapped. "If we open that door, they'll kill us all." Amara's scream tore through the room, echoing louder than the gunfire outside. She pressed her forehead to Maxwell's arm, tears streaming. I can't do this alone." Maxwell bent low, his lips near her ear. "You're not alone anymore." Outside, the Black Crows pounded, furious. Inside, the room held its breath as Amara pushed with all the strength left in her. The pain was sharp, unbearable, yet something fierce lit in her eyes, defiance, survival. The fire of a woman who had been broken but refused to stay down. Minutes stretched like hours, shouts grew louder outside. Then at last a cry, a baby's cry. The room stilled, the maid lifted the small, wrinkled child wrapped in white cloth. "It's a boy." Amara collapsed against Maxwell, exhausted, tears on her cheeks. The baby's cry cut through the fear like light. Maxwell's eyes burned. He looked at the boy, then at Amara. "You gave life tonight, while they brought only death." The pounding on the door suddenly stopped. Silence fell outside. The Black Crows were gone, but Amara knew it wasn't over. This was only the beginning. If you like this story, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel for more interesting stories.